Hey everybody, welcome to today's video feedback and also assignment. So I'm going to do this a little bit different than I used to do. So on my Patreon, every week I'm going to give feedback on people that send me their work, patrons, and I'm also giving assignments. So I want to start with the really basics. So let me show that here and drop me in the comments what kind of assignment you would want to see, or maybe you have the question you want to ask me for a next video. Let me know in the in the comments. So let me get my pencil brush, this one, and let's start with this assignment. So I want to start with the very basics, flat shapes, 2D shapes. So what I would say is go practice drawing circles, squares, rectangles, and then triangles. Just going to practice them. So if you have a sketchbook, go fill a whole page with these, with these shapes, and that will help you getting more comfortable with drawing these shapes, because this will help you with drawing characters, backgrounds, and I'll show that in later videos. But first I want you to focus on these fundamentals. You can do it as, for example, warm up. So feel free to do them and to send them to me. And try to first maybe try to copy these ones, and then after that you can make your own versions. And go fill a whole page. Maybe a little bit, boring, but try to be creative and try to get. It also really helps with developing your how to draw. When I draw these shapes on my tablet and in my sketchbook, I try to use my shoulder as much as possible. So, and what you can also do is, if you have a sketchbook page, just fill it. And you can also do this digitally or on your iPad, whatever, and go fill a whole page with all these different shapes, and try to see what kind of weird things you can make with these shapes, as in this example. So yeah, that's go ahead and try that out. Another thing, and it's maybe also, it's really practice, right? But it will really help you developing how you draw. So draw 2 lines. You can use your ruler for that or anything. And then, or maybe draw it freehand, because it also helps. And then try to draw between these 2 red lines, try to draw perfect circles. They don't have to be perfect, but try to go perfect. You can see I keep drawing until I have something. So I don't do this. No, I draw over it again until I have something that looks kind of perfect. So yeah, the same with but it's also a good one is to to draw these shapes like this here, right? So morph them between these 2 lines, and it will help your hand-eye coordination. So if you're asking why you can draw nice lines, go practice these things and try to do a day every day. Do it as a warm-up. Try to do a couple of them, 10 minutes, maybe less. Just start with a little bit and get more comfortable with drawing these kinds of shapes. So here, so I think you get the drill. So that's something you can go ahead. And if you're a part of Patreon, you can send me for feedback these things. So let's start with the actual feedback. So here with this one from Justin, made this really cool drawing. So there's a real cool story going on. So we have this character is not looking at this kid. So this is the story. We have this character and then this kid. So what I would maybe try to do, maybe try to think a little bit about the staging. I don't know. Let's just try out something. So I would add a little bit perspective to something something like this. So maybe let me remove this. So hope this maybe not too complex for you, but maybe it can give you some kind of idea where you can work towards to. So here we have maybe this desk like this here, and so now I'm going really into depth. So when I'm making a drawing, I also have a bit of the canvas in mind. I want to draw on maybe something like this with, and I divide that between 9 parts. So let's see what's kind of, yeah, maybe a little bit like film screen or something. So something like this here. So what I often do is I try to find a nice composition. So I think this character I want to have here, and then, or maybe here, this kid here, something like this with this thing here, or maybe in here. So here we have this thing, and then here this character here. So something like, yeah, like this here. And you can push the perspective way more. But this way, I try to find yeah, a more interesting composition. And you can do a lot of different compositions. You could also watch movies and try to see what kind of compositions they make. But what I usually do is I have this canvas like this here, and then I divide it through 9 parts. And where you have these intersections, I often put something that is interesting. So here this or this, that you get this, yeah, dynamic. So that's what I often try to do. And there are some more staging things, but I wanted to tell that. So trying to add a bit more perspective instead of making everything straight. So yeah, instead of making everything straight, yeah, trying to. So I would advise you to maybe try to practice some drawing perspective and composition. And yeah, I really like that you're adding this story. It's really clear what's happening, so that's really really good. Yeah, awesome, so awesome work. So let's go to Peter, this cool lion. Let's make it a bit lighter. So yeah, colors look fine, and I really like the design. And I would say maybe keep focusing. Yeah, it's really good to keep coloring it, to coloring it. But I would also say is, yeah, try to also focus, especially when you're learning how to draw, on the drawing part. Keep coloring your drawings, but also focus on yeah, on the drawing part here. So maybe let's see. So here this nose going something like this. So I'm really thinking about it, about construction. I think you really have a cool design. I really like it. I would just say maybe you want to have a little bit more design in these shapes here. So something like this here, and maybe there's a line here. Trying to find interesting interesting lines. So here, and yeah, something like this. Then we have this hair here. So what I'm doing, you have all these shapes. maybe different sizes. So yeah, instead of doing this with the hair, I try to go for big shape, small shape, etc. So try to find some interesting compositions. And the same here, these lines are the same. I would maybe try to make them long, medium, small or something. And yeah, trying to avoid symmetry. So maybe maybe this one. I also don't want to push it more. If you want to go, maybe make this point here, trying to add some random points. It makes things often a little bit more interesting. And here, and for example, here we have a bit of construction. So try to think in these shapes here. So this ball would probably be a shape, a big shape like this here, and then you can draw those in here. So for cartoon characters, I often go for four fingers, so the thumb, then something, but also here this, trying that overall shape, and then draw yeah, draw the overall shape, right? Using overlap, you did that. Maybe here here's the breast. Maybe don't show that here. Maybe something like this here, and we have this line here. So we can keep this really cartoony. Maybe something like, let's see, how would I draw this? Like, so I often use also photo reference to figure stuff out. So it's a bit hard for me to say exactly. Maybe something like this, I don't know. But I want to have these kinds of overlapping lines that creates depth. For example, if you draw two balls, it's not really clear which one is in front. But if you draw it like this, then you see that this one is in front. And even if you make this one smaller, you see that this in front. And what you can also do is having this gap here, and then it feels connected. Then you get something like this here. Maybe here this tail. This can also help the depth if you maybe do something like this. But yeah, great work, Peter. So yeah, look on some tutorials about construction, line of action, and flow. Awesome work. Let's go to Harry. You asked if you sent this before, but I think last time you sent me another one with wolves, and yeah, it looked really awesome. I really like this. What I like about this is this line here. So that's really cool. What I think is we can add a bit more speed, maybe having a bit of more of angles can also be, you push these shapes a little bit more. Yeah, it also depends what's the style you're going for. Are you going for really realistic or not? But I think you can push things more. Maybe here this head, maybe if you put this head even lower, you get this more aerodynamic. I would maybe make these ears maybe also like this. If you really want to go that they're going fast, and then show maybe some snow going like this. So I really would like to push these poses. I think you're really trying your best to make something really pretty, and that's cool. But maybe yeah, try to push these poses. Try to think, what is the feeling you want to get in these poses? Is this one not right? This one is not running, but he's more maybe sniffing or something. He's hunting. So maybe these ears are really low or something. Try to think about what's the story you want to tell and how to push the characters to tell that story more. I think that can be added a little bit more in your drawings. But yeah, awesome work. keep it up. I hope you make another one, or maybe improve one or something, push it, and then we can talk about it again. But I think it's really awesome. Maybe what you can also do is here from this line, here we have this, all these diagonal lines in here. Try to maybe you can go try to add more perspective. Maybe wolves are coming like this here from this angle, instead of these horizontal lines. And sometimes horizontal drawing is awesome, but these wolves are exactly the same size, and you could add a bit more dynamic by it. Let me know if you want to ask more about that. So Stephen, awesome storytelling, really clear silhouette. That's cool to see. Maybe here as well. Here we have two of these characters. It's like we're watching at the stage or something like, and we're sitting right in front. So maybe we can add a bit of more depth by it by rotating the camera a bit more. But it depends on the type of illustration you want to make. You can also maybe push them a little bit more, that you see this character maybe a little bit more from this angle, and this character also. It's already a little bit. Maybe that's something that pops in my mind. Maybe, but it's also not always necessary. Sometimes you want it to have really clear in the staged feeling. Let's see. Yeah, I think construction-wise, let's focus on this girl, especially when this month's topic is drawing females. So I think really cool character. Let's look a little bit at the construction. So we have this hair. Maybe push this wave a little bit more. So here. So she's looking at this character. Yeah, I think I do like this angle. Maybe you could push it a little bit more. Maybe what if you rotate it like this, getting a bit more angle in it. Yeah, something like this instead of her. Maybe she can also play. Maybe she has ponytail or something, and then you can also do that. She's playing with her hair. Not everyone, but often girls when they're flirting or something, they play with their hair. And I would maybe make this hand, do it like this here. I think that would make more sense. We could add also a bit more foreshortening there than something like this, but maybe I would do something like that. I think you really pushed this one really nice. So I would maybe put that this leg is on top of that other leg. So maybe trying to push this a little bit more. And maybe this feet is behind this. Something like this. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe something like this or something. And then you have the dress on top of it. But I want you to think about those things when drawing. But yeah, really try to push this pose a little bit, and also here, getting this. I want almost to see these type of lines in your drawings. Here, this leg. Can you maybe a little bit thicker, stronger, or something? Maybe like this is also a little bit bent, a little bit towards this character. I do like that this head is turned away. It makes it shy, and she really, goes to him, and he makes it. Yeah, he gets shy. So I think this really Awesome drawing. Maybe a little point is here with these arrows. I try to avoid parallel lines, so maybe this really small point, but I believe this can really help. Maybe with an arrow like this, and maybe add a third arrow like this here. So you have these three angles, but then you have 2 and 1. So you get, instead of doing this, you're doing this, right? You're creating more interesting compositions that way. But yeah, awesome work. Let's look at cat. So it's really cool. Usually I would say I would try to avoid these types of drawings, but it really makes it stylistic and characteristic. So that's really cool. So that depends on the style you want to draw. Is it for a book or something stylistic? That's really cool. So yeah, maybe one thing, if you're developing a style, maybe think about your own rules. Your rules. How big are her hands? Because here's smaller than here. So maybe make this hand a little bit bigger or something. I think that if you make them a little bit bigger, that gives you also a bit more space to do something with it. And yeah, see, it feels a bit like she's floating. But is he in action or something? Or because I see this board flipping, but that's also not. Yeah, another thing. So is he relaxed? Or is he in action? Try to ask yourself these kinds of questions. What is your goal with this drawing? Do you want to make it really stylistic? Or do you want to make it cartoony for an animation? What kind of animation or what kind of comic? And it feels like this is almost for illustration, stylistic. Maybe a flat graphic style. So that those are have really different purposes than more cartoony. So that makes also, so I'm wondering what can I give for kind of feedback? So a lot of times I give feedback like if I see three shapes like this here, I say, no, that doesn't work. I want to see a small shape, big shape, and a medium shape. But if you're working really flat and graphic, you're often going for this. Think about The Simpsons or Family Guy, or maybe some graphic design work. They sometimes use these kinds of shapes. So yeah, try to ask yourself what kind of style are you going for? Maybe you have an artist in mind that you really like, or you're developing some of your own. But think about rules, like you're developing a language or something. But yeah, great work, Kat. Let's look at this cool character from Kevin. So it's really nice, this shape. I would love to see your sketches from this. So it would be really cool to see the sketch, to see the construction of this character. And then here the shape. Or is this more going like this here? And then we have these legs. And then this feet is aiming this way. So that's really nice. And then we have this feet that is aiming this way. So I often like to have a straight versus a curved lines. So we make this straight. We have this one line going like this. And of course you can add details and small shapes. Then this hand. What I think would be cool near the shoulder here is if she maybe she holds a grenade or something here in this hand, because then you get this silhouette. You get a stronger silhouette in your character. Yeah, maybe, yeah, this, we have this shape here. So that's really cool. Yeah, I really like this this angle. So yeah, what I would love to see is here your construction or your the doodles of this drawing. And then I can, yeah, that would be really cool. And maybe here push this hair maybe more. I think we can add some things to give it, yeah, a little bit more energy or something. So really push some shapes a little bit more. What I mean with that is going for this nice curve, and maybe here this, showing this back like this here, or this hair, push this hair a little bit more, and trying to get these flowing lines in comparison to the straight bazooka. Yeah, awesome, awesome work. Great shadow and stuff like this. But I think, yeah, you can push this, push this more to be more dynamic. But yeah, awesome work, really great work. So yeah, for everyone, thanks everyone for sending me your work. If you want feedback next week, yeah, for all patrons, is that you can see in the description how to send in feedback, and then I see you next week. And feel free to do the assignment if you want, and you can also send that for feedback. And next week I come with another assignment, and let me know in the comments what kind of assignments would you want me to show, or maybe you have a question. Yeah, let me know. And next week, Tuesday, I think I will come with a new video lesson. And that's besides these kinds of videos. So on my page, in 2 videos a week, plus the ebook I will send next week, or early next month I will send the new ebook gift for patrons around. So yeah, that's it. Thanks everyone for watching, and hope to see you next week. Bye bye.